would think there must be a place where everyone sings, but as a man I heard no songs at all. They said the world isn't for singing. Stop yourself from listening. There must be a new dew. Traveled around for a while, searching for something to make me smile. I opened my heart and found you there. Love writes its own songs and stories. One day you will find a place where everyone sings.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to First Thursday for March 2023. This is going to be a very special one. Once again, we started with this video from the song A Place Where Everyone Sings. That was written by my longtime great friend, Mark Josephs. I met him on the boardwalk in Atlantic City when I was 21 years old. I was out there playing professional blackjack, and he played me this song on the boardwalk, and I handed him $2,000 to go make a recording. We became lifetime friends. He's gone now, but I want his music to live on, so that's why I recorded this song. It's going to be a very special night tonight. I'm very excited. It's going to be a little different. I want you to meet my good friend JD Stillwater. JD is a science teacher and has a lot of information about spirituality and science, and he presents them in these things he called 7 candles for so long. And I'm a big fan of what he does. And he's a fan of mine, and we just thought, you know, the Venn diagram of that, there was quite a lot of overlap, and we have this dream, this goal that maybe we could do something together. And so we've got a website, greatturningroadshow.com, and we did a show last year where we traded, he did a presentation with slides, and it basically introduced my songs, and then I would sing a song, and so we went back and forth that way. And today we're going to just explore that a little bit. Say hello to JD Stillwater. Hey, JD.
Hi.
There you are.
I do love that song. Place Where Everybody Sings.
That's
everyone.
Thank you, and thank you for Mark. Well, it's great to have you here today, and I wanted to tell people that we met on the Great Peace March for Global Nuclear Disarmament, and yesterday was the 37th anniversary.
Can you believe it?
Inconceivable. Of leaving Los Angeles to walk to Washington, D.C. The year, both a seminal event, I think, for both of us, right?
Absolutely pivotal in my life. Everything was different before and after. Go ahead.
I was going to say that this is where we really saw how music and performing could affect people and move people. And it's the first place I ever performed. I had never performed. And somehow, we're walking across the country, supposed to be camping and walking 15 miles a day, but we end up playing a lot of churches, a lot of schools, a lot of events. We were in a band called Collective Vision.
Yep. And it's been a lot of time on stages. We'd walk all day and then end up doing a show in the evening, and everybody else was having a day off, and we'd be traveling to a show somewhere. And
both of us got pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah. It became a routine. So much fun on those trips.
Right. And the story goes on, and while most people were very supportive of the march, some of people said, hey, you can't do that in Russia. So the next year we went and did it in Russia. And it sounds unbelievable, but it is a true story that our band Collective Vision played along with Santana, Bonnie Raitt, and James Taylor in the first ever outdoor stadium rock concert in the former Soviet Union.
Don't forget the Doobie Brothers.
I always forget the Doobie Brothers. I do that on purpose.
I like their stuff.
That will always be our biggest show, right? 30,000 Russians.
Probably.
Hey, I want to say thank you to everybody who's commenting. Yeah, please let us know you're here and where you're watching from. And we aren't going to be doing as much talking, but I see some people I don't know. I see some people I know. Hey, Leanne. Hey, Robert Morgan Fisher. Good to have you here. You can't hear anything. Is that true? Well, that might be just you. Hey, Tom. Hey, Peter, which I think is Annie. But good to have you all here. Hi, Heather from Crosstown. Robin, who I don't know, welcome. Maybe that's your friend, JD, Robin Renee.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Oh, cool. That's great. Can you see the comments, JD?
Only as they pop up on your screen.
Oh, okay.
As they come in.
I gotcha. I get to see them all. Hey, Ron Carr.
Oh, there's maybe.
Wes from Tennessee. I bet you can see the comments.
Now I can. I had to click a button.
Yeah. Anyway, you had something to say about that song, JD, right? A Place Where Everyone Sings.
Just that, for me, it taps into some of the same sort of intentions of the march itself. We were marching for a better world, a place where, at least metaphorically, everyone can sing. Everyone can find a certain level of freedom and joy. And of course, back then it was global nuclear disarmament. But, one of the arguments we were making at that time was, if we took the money that we spend on all these armaments and used it for making a better world, a more hospitable world for people, it'd go a long way. So, right. And that's still very relevant today. We don't live in a world where everyone can sing. And we could.
But that was the Peace March was certainly that place. Everybody was singing.
Absolutely.
We were singing when we were walking. We had a couple of bands on the march, right? 3 or 4 bands. Noel Moan and the Blisters, I think, was a band, and the Wild Women for Peace. Yeah, everybody was singing.
A lot of music.
Yeah. Hey, should we move right into the next song? Hey, everybody. Thanks for Elaine. Nice to see you. Peace Marcher. Sammy, also from Portland. Nice to see you. Robin Pressman. Hi. Hi, Robin. You think I should go right into the next song?
Well, can I say a little bit about,
please,
like as a lead-in, the next song he's about to play is actually one that really got me motivated to do this work of sharing revelations from the world of science that I think could help create a better world. Um, Starting with things like here, let me this revelation that well, let me start this way. There's the universe is amazing, as science describes it. Just really amazing. Starting with just a couple tidbits. This picture of sand is up there because the truth is there are more stars in the visible universe than there are grains of sand on the earth. There are more stars in the visible universe than there are grains of sand on the earth.
You're making that up.
It's really true. I've actually done the math. If you go to my blog, you can see where I spell it all out. Here's another one. There is so much beauty in the universe, and so much of it is right here. I mean, there's a lot of dead stuff out there, but right here, there's so much beauty. And anyway, we live at a time when we have a big picture understanding of nature writ large. And it gives me this incredible appreciation that this next song that Darryl's going to sing is really about. And so keep some of these images in mind as you listen to this song.
This is a Peter Mayer song. When I was a boy, each week, Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest, and he would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everybody would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. And when I went to Sunday school, we would read about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad. Miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. Holy water was a rare at best, barely wet my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven second rate hand me down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. See a questioning child's face, say it's not a sacrament. That'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come, say it's not a testament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird, shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. Made me wanna bow my head. I remember when church let out. How things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. slowly now. Let me try to get that. That's what I was trying to get there when I hit the guitar.
I don't know how you do it. I've just picked up the ukulele, and it's
Well, it's only got 4 strings. You should get that pretty quickly. It's got like less strings than there are grains of sand in the earth. So
quite a lot.
you should have that. Tiny bump in the guitar level, says Ramsey. I'm going to do that, Ramsey. I mean, there's a tiny bump right there. Hey, Philip. Hey, everybody. Hey, Elise. Good to see you here. Dave Carter's sister is with us. Heather from across town. Julia from the Great Peace March. And if Evan's there with you, we love you guys.
Yeah.
Tom May, the longtime host of River City Folk, and a good friend here in Portland. Thank you for being here, Tom. Thank you, everybody.
It's really fun watching these comments come in. So there's a strange thing, though. Somehow Darryl Purpose is replying even while he plays the guitar.
Oh, that's my daughter. That's my daughter, Carrie. She gets the login from me, and she talks as if she's me, and she just brings a good vibe to the whole thing. I just love that she's here. I was describing my new songwriting. You know, I write a song every Monday night, and if I don't have anything to say, I tell people, if I don't have anything to say in the new song I'm creating, I just start giving Carrie advice. She doesn't know it. I've never told her that. Maybe she's hearing it now for the first time. Hey, Terry. 2 Nickels, Terry. Philip, Andrea from Los Angeles, I'm thinking, right? Yeah. Yeah, that Peter Mayer song, that really changed both of our lives a little bit. You know, we responded so... it's hard not to hear that song and just melt, you know?
You were the one who told me about it, not just the song, but all of Peter Mayer stuff. And you said, I think you might find something worthwhile here. Yeah.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about this one we're going to do next, JD?
Sure. Understanding how life evolved on this planet has offered us a whole new way of thinking about our relationship with the earth and with other creatures. This is that didn't play. Here we go. Oh, it's not working.
Oh, no.
It's a movie. Here it goes. This is an evening primrose flower, and this is not time lapse. These things open, at sunset in about 30 seconds to a minute. It's a little jerky, but anyway, I wanted to show this while I was talking about how evolution tells us that every living thing on this planet is a distant cousin of ours. There's only one family of living things, and it's
amazing.
It's kind of nice to think of being related to things like great blue whales and evening primroses and stuff like that. Might feel a little different when you think about being related to mosquitoes and fleas and those kinds of things, but we are. And for me personally, there's this incredibly deep sense of connection and oneness when I think about the fact that there's a deep ancestor of mine that is also a great grandparent of, for example, elephants. There's just a nobility and a connection there. And
I love it.
The song you're about to do, I think, kind of takes us through some of those family connections.
Yes, and it's really great that we have Elise Fisher here because it's her brother that wrote this song. This is a Dave Carter song. Gentle Arms of Eden. On a sleepy, endless ocean, when the world lay in a dream, there was rhythm in the splash and roll, but not a voice to sing. So the moon fell on the breakers, and the morning warmed the waves, till a single sailed to jump and hum, for joy as though to say, this is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray In the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Then the day shone bright and rounder, till the one turned into two, and the two into 10,000 things, and old things into new. Till on some virgin beachhead, one lonesome critter crawled, and he looked about and shouted out in his most astonished drawl, "This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden." And all the sky was buzzing, and the ground was carpet green, and the weary children of the wood went dancing in between. And then all sang rejoicing when the fields were glad with grain, this song of celebration from their cities on the plain. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Now there's smoke across the harbor, there's factories on the shore, and the world is ill with greed and will and enterprise of war. But I will lay my burdens in the cradle of your grace, and the shining beaches of your love, sea of your embrace. This is my home, this is my only home, this is the only sacred ground that I have ever known. Should I stray in the dark night alone, rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Rock me, goddess, in the gentle arms of Eden. Tom May, thank you for being here. I just got to say, it was just a few weeks ago that Tom May hosts a festival called Winter Folk, where they raise money to work on the homeless problem here in Portland. Been doing that for many, many years. And Tracy Grammer was here, and when a lot of amazing people were there to sing, but in the very end, everybody got up on stage and sang that song, and it was just a perfect ending.
As Tom said, as Tom said in his comment, it's a good reminder of what really matters, and how we're not necessarily valuing it as we should.
Yeah, I feel like it's, as a songwriter, I look up to Dave so much, and just to see, if you were sitting down to write a history of our little universe in 4 verses, I don't think that's how it came to him. I'm pretty sure it came to him in a dream, all in one piece. But it's really quite something. Philip, I don't know what you're asking exactly. Is there a book on this show? Hey, KD, good to see you too. But I think he's saying, is there a 7 candles kind of? No, it's just JD. He goes around and he gives this presentation, and then JD and I are hoping to travel around together and bring songs to it.
There's a manuscript. There's a manuscript for a book, but it's sitting on my desk and waiting.
What's your website, JD?
It's jdstillwater.earth.
Okay. And then the Great Turning, yeah. Thank you, Alxa, our producer. He's just so on top of it. She's already got the GreatRoadshow.com up there. Hi, Sandy. I see your comment from way back.
I am seeing people that I love and haven't talked to for a long time in these comments, and I have to tell you, it's wonderful. It's really cool.
Yeah. Feel free to say hello, JD. Too.
Yeah, well, Cherish and Josh, and the problem with saying hello is I might leave somebody out, but
You know, I always leave somebody, as somebody gets by, because, you know, you're singing the song and you're not looking at the comments, and sometimes they just go by. But this next song is a song, we have Robert Morgan Fisher here with us today, and Robert and I wrote this song together.
Yeah. If I were to say anything about it, it's that humanity has taken itself to a place it's a little precarious, you know. There's a lot going on right now. And just for one example, ecosystems are a little bit like that game Jenga. Have you ever played that, where you pile up a bunch of blocks and you can pull out some of them, but after a while, if you take out enough, things start to fall apart. And I think what we're seeing is things starting to fall apart. And you know, you've seen some of these pictures. Have you seen this one before, Darryl? Do you know what this represents?
I have not seen that one. What is that? Oh, that's a timeline.
Each stripe is the average annual temperature compared to, I think it's like some year in 1980 or something like that. So the blue years are cooler than that particular year, and the red years are globally hotter than that particular year. And there's a clear trend here. This is not good.
Yeah, it's a little scary, huh?
Right.
Who knows? I mean, you know, some people would say that we're going to have, I think people that don't really want to bother the oil companies and such, you know, they say that, you know, we'll think of something. We'll figure something out, some giant balloon that sucks it all up and leaves us okay. What do you think about that idea, JD?
I don't think technology is going to save us. I mean, it has in the past, so there's an argument to be made for it. But, you know, Albert Einstein famously said, you can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created the problem. And I think that's exactly what you just said is an example of that, where, you know, we don't really want to change who we are or how we relate to the rest of the planet. So we're just going to keep doing what we've been doing and hope that somehow something changes. And I think ultimately what we have to do is change the stories that we tell ourselves. We have to change our worldview. And that's part of what I'm offering, is that science can help us align our worldview a little better with reality. So happens to be kind of what this next song is about.
It is. So Robert and I wrote the song together, and yeah. I was going to ask you, have you seen the movie Don't Look Up?
I have.
Right.
I mean, it's frighteningly on point.
I know. Like, that last dinner is classic, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Dan, so glad to see you here. All right.
Dan.
Stories that we tell. So you wanna write a story? Let me show you how it's done. First you get yourself a good guy, then you give that boy a gun. Then you rustle up some bad guys, the dark and evil kind. So when they get slaughtered, no one minds. And when the fight is over and everything seems well, and everyone awaits their place in heaven or in hell, just don't forget, we become the stories that we tell. So you wanna write a story? Let me show you how it's done. First you build yourself a temple that can almost reach the sun. Then you write yourself some rules about how folks should behave, and all the others won't be saved. And when the crusade's over and the tolling of the bell covers up the cries of the fallen infidels, just don't forget, we become the stories that we tell. Now we become the stories as the things we think and feel and do enfold us. And the story still reveals itself and tells our children's children what it told us. Yeah, 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 yeah. So you wanna write a story? Let me show you how it's done. First to get yourself a country, then you call it number one. Then you find yourself another place to treat like number two, where they don't do things like you do. And when every last native son's been killed or expelled, and you control each diamond mine and every oily well, just don't forget we become the stories that we tell. Yeah, don't forget we become the stories that we tell. Hey, don't forget we become the stories that we tell. Oh gosh, D, you're not J Votes?
No.
No, okay, different vote. All right.
He is one of my colleagues, former colleagues from the Circle School, and it just makes my heart sing that she's here.
That's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. People are telling me, including my producer, that the guitar is not loud enough, and I have a feeling the guitar is not. Oh, it's not plugged in. Yeah, that would. We're about halfway through, right? We're a little more than halfway through. Of course, it does get in this microphone, so it's not like you don't hear it at all. Thank you, everybody, for telling me. How is it now? It is now plugged in. And people were asking about a book. I just want to put JD. I haven't even talked to you about this, but this is my latest find here. This is a book by Rick Rubin. It's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being, and it's for everybody, because we all create something, even if it's just our own lives. I just love this. It's a new thing. It's a book you can just pick any page, turn to it, and read. Every artist has heroes, creators whose work we connect with, whose methods we aspire to, words we cherish. The exceptional talents can seem beyond human, like mythological figures from a distance, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, well, I didn't pick one that was a good two-sentence read. And I don't want to take time away from you, because I know you have a lot to say.
It sounds like there's good stuff in there, though.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. Rick Rubin has produced everybody from the Beastie Boys to Johnny Cash, and everybody in between. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, I just love that last song you sang, because it so perfectly describes the situation we're in. And I encourage everybody, but myself in particular, to ask, what kinds of stories do we tell ourselves that allow us to treat each other and the planet the way we do? And for me, it always comes down to, it's a story of separation, a story of me being different from you, and kind of a zero sum. If I'm doing well, it must mean that you're not doing as well. And if you're doing well, somehow that takes away from me. And it's a story and an economy built on that story that's about, it's not about mutualism, which the rest of nature is clearly, it's like it's a consistent pattern in the natural world of interconnection and mutualism.
Neat. I saw the tip jar go up there, and I'll just tell people I'll split my tips with JD tonight. So thank you for pitching in and making this thing go.
That's one of the things about this economy, right? A minute ago I used that word interdependent or interconnection, and Darryl, I think it was you who introduced me to a different term that I think is much better, that came from Thich Nhat Hanh. I think it was you.
Oh.
And the term is interbeing.
Yes.
And the way I think about it now is like my relationship with the rest of the earth, actually the rest of the universe, is roughly analogous to the relationship between one of the cells in my body to me. My cells are interdependent with one another. My liver cells can't live without my heart, cells taking blood to them, for example. But they're also part of something much bigger that they can't really see or acknowledge. And to me, the word interbeing describes that much better. It's not like my cells are separate doing their own things. They are, but they're also part of something much bigger than them. And if that were the story we told ourselves about our relationship with each other and with the planet, I think things could be and would be very different. Really different. And maybe we'd have a chance of making things better.
Yeah, Thich Nhat Hanh was connected. That's for sure. And you had a what is this slide? Oh, this is
this is just an example of one way that we're completely immersed inside. This is just the carbon cycle. This is like a diagram from your middle school. But one of the things it illustrates is that you cannot separate yourself. You're in the carbon cycle. Every time you breathe in and out, you're part of this cycle.
Neat. It'll sound like I'm making this up, but I wrote a song with Thich Nhat Hanh called "Interbeing," and you can find it on Spotify. That's
really?
That's a
How
true
did I
story.
not know this?
Well, it's hard to talk about. It's hard to brag. You can't say that without. Like you're bragging about yourself, and why would you want to brag about yourself when you start thinking about Thich Nhat Hanh and Thai and who he was and everything, right? So I end up not telling anybody. I end up not telling anybody.
Well, I am definitely going to go looking for this song.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. All right, and hello to more people. Thank you, Tom, for keeping us all on our toes, and Heather and Julia. I'm curious, is Evan there with you, Julia? Or Irene Shonley, you're responding to her. I didn't see her actually comment, but hi, Irene, if you're here.
Yeah.
Great, so great. So many of these are peace marchers. That's the thing about the peace marches. We so many of my current friends, my current best friends, we met on the peace march, including you and Ann. So anyway, shall I move forward with this next song?
Let's move into the world we want.
Okay, all right. Is that how this works? I know you had this lined up for me, so that's good. I'm glad somebody's telling me what to play next.
There's a good measure of winging it going on here too. But
no doubt.
how conversations are.
No doubt, but we'll have fun. It is fun to try out this stuff, and with the idea of check out the website greatturningroadshow.com. Alex says so quick with that. Look at her put that URL right up there. But the idea is that you can hire me and JD to get a grant or whatever it is you do to get us to come give this presentation in some form to your community or your church or whatever, whoever wants it. We like putting out this stuff, putting out this information and this good feeling and good connection. So this is a song I've been doing this. I told a lot of you that I'm writing a song a week for my Monday night song group, and it's transformed me. So we're going to sort of close tonight with a couple of, maybe we might have time for one more after these, but we're going to do a couple of songs that I wrote all by my lonesome. And here we go. Are you hearing the guitar? I want to live in a world where it all gets better. Make a home in a house with the room to grow. A big old yard with a half dozen Irish setters. Smart and tricky, friendly as the status quo. Yeah. I wanna live in a world we don't see it coming. A curb our romance, I'd be wine and dined. In a time of chanting, dancing, drumming. I could be more assertive if you don't mind. Yeah. These are just some things I want you You can make your own list. I am not entitled to a single one, but I insist. I wanna live in a world where it all gets better. Every day I use time as a simple tool. I do not require a tear-stained letter to read between the lines and pick the jewel. Yeah, these are just some things I want. You can make your own list. I am not entitled to a single one. Still I insist. I wanna live in a world where we love each other. A 7 generations forward view. We fight the madness true for one another. And keep the faith for the day when we all shine through. Yeah, these are just some things I want. You can make your own list. I am not entitled to a single one. Still I insist. I wanna live in a world where it all gets better. Where it all gets better. Where it all gets better. Yeah.
I got to reply to Julia. I'm drumming on the desk.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's good.
And when we do this live, I bring some drums. So there, you hear Darryl with a little bit of percussion too. That's
nice. Yeah, it would be nice. We can't do that remotely like we're doing this here, but
you could, but it would all be out of time.
It's always fun. Every time, we don't often get together like for a year, but then we get together and we can do a whole show, and it just gels. Yeah. So that's very cool.
Works well. So there was a line in there, Darryl. I'm not entitled to a single one, but I'm not getting it quite right. I don't feel entitled. I'm not entitled.
I am not entitled to a single one. Still, I insist.
Yeah.
Just a little humility. You just throw out. It's just a song, first of all. So you can't hold me to any of it, really. But
well, I love it. I mean, that line stands out for me because I think part of what's going on for us in this society is that so many of us do feel so entitled to things that not only aren't necessities, but aren't even worth anything. I walk into a store and it's just full of plastic crap that nobody needs. And yet, there's a market for it. There's you ever seen The Story of Stuff?
No.
It's a quick little video. And one of the claims they make in there that I did a little research on a couple of years ago, that the average consumer good takes about 6 weeks from the store shelf to the landfill. 6 weeks. Like, what are we thinking? So that when you say I'm not entitled to a single one, that's what it brings up for me, is this sense that it's okay to just go through stuff in a very linear kind of trashing the planet way.
Right. Well, I feel like that takes a little bit of the edge off the presumption that we are entitled. So that line takes a little bit of the edginess off of what they're saying there, and then I throw a little Greta Thunberg there in the last line. Still, I insist. Right? Yeah, we know. Like, I'm not going to get all this, but
yeah.
But hey, I want it all.
Well, and the best time, when I think of the best times in my life, when I was the happiest, when I was the most fulfilled spiritually and physically and all that, it was on the march. And I was living in a tent, waking up in the rain, walking in the rain. I mean, it wasn't very comfortable, but it was real in a way that I think modern suburban life lacks. You know what I mean?
I'm right with you. Yep. Hey, Sammy, thank you. Elizabeth Fairchild is here, and Elizabeth Carey is commenting as me out there. Elizabeth co-wrote the Child of Hearts song with me way back when. And I see all these people I don't know, and I assume that they're your friends, JD. And let me just say that, let's do some cross-pollinating here. And to all my fans, go check out, is it JD Stillwater at .earth?
.earth, yeah. A lot of people don't know there is a .earth, but as soon as I knew it, I was like, that's where I want to be.
EARTH.
Yep.
That's great. And of course, I'm at darrylpurpose.com, and nobody knows how to spell that. But anyway, please come find us if you haven't. I would love to hear from you, and hopefully JD and I will be doing some things together. We'll be making new followers and such together, and that will be a third thing, and that'll be nice too.
I'm really looking forward to touring and being in cities where we can meet some of these folks in person.
Wouldn't it be something? Yeah, folks, talk to your UU church or whoever it is that can make that kind of stuff happen. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. Your ex-wife called me an hour and a half ago and said, I'm here in town. Let's go have dinner. And I'm like, no, I'm doing a live stream with JD.
You are mine.
But anyway, so let's see where I'm just trying to see where we're at here. This could be the last song. We might have one more past this. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom May. So good. Yeah, I laughed at that too, Dan. But this would be our last song. Did you have something? Oh, I was going to introduce this one by telling my little story.
Yeah, if you tell the story,
well, okay, and then you've got some.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say that, it was a couple years ago. I almost died in the ocean in Costa Rica, and I got out there and I could not get back, and I had to make a decision. It was like a second, less than a second, where I thought, there's no thinking about this. I just have to make a decision: really fight and get back in, or let the ocean take me out. And I decided to let the ocean take me out. I had flippers, and I also had this one thought. I thought this might be it for me, and I just thought, if this is it, I'm going to just work as hard as I can for the people that I know care about me. I'm going to work as hard as I can to see my daughter again, And it was an hour and a half. I had fins on, or I would not have made it. But I worked really hard for an hour and a half and got back in and told some people about it. And they say, oh, yeah, 3 people have died on this beach this year. And
the reason it's dangerous is because there's like a riptide, or the current is taking you out to sea.
I don't understand it completely, but I know that when I went in, the tide was really low. So it's dangerous when the tide is really low. And yeah, there's just big rocks on both sides. And at some point, I guess it's a riptide. Maybe that's the simple answer. Yeah, it's a riptide.
That was the picture I had in my head after the first time you told the story to me. And so, yeah, that was sort of what I was picturing in my head, was that you had a choice between giving it your all, but swimming against this really strong current and probably not making it, or letting it take you out to sea where you probably weren't going to make it. But in the end, what you ended up doing was going crosswise to it.
Well, no, I had to go way out first because there were lots of rocks on both sides of me, and I had to get to where the current wasn't pushing out anymore, and then I went parallel to the coast, and came back in down the coast.
Well, I think it's still a good analogy for what we're facing in terms of the climate emergency and extinctions and stuff. It's like, I think a lot of people, especially young people, they feel like they have to choose between doing what we've been doing, but even more and harder, or just letting it, just going with the flow and and
finding a side door.
That's what I want to recommend, is that we look for a side door, look for a third alternative. Yeah.
And that we work hard. But so I wrote this for my Monday night group all by myself, and then my friend Patrick DeSimio came on and helped me make it better. So he's a co-writer on this song, and I call it Costa Rica. Who will you be when it's time to head in, and the tide disagrees? Who will you be? Who will you miss when the ocean runs deep? One last lost kiss, who will you miss? Far the waters, risky the rocks, all in a moment, all could be lost. How will you fight with the waves rising round? No land in sight. How will you fight? And what holds you up when the riptide you down? Will you be strong enough? What holds you up? Rough are the waters, risky the rocks, all in a moment, all could be lost. I offer a blessing from one who returned to souls on this beach and all here on earth. And how will you live once you've saved your life? Your heart beats again. How will you live? Who will you be when it's time to head in, and the tide disagrees? Who will you be?
That's so beautiful.
Thank you, Tom May. It's fun, Tom, to have like some new songs. This Monday night thing where I'm compiling. It's been the last Monday was the 25th week, so I wouldn't say I've got 25 songs, but I'd say I got 20, 12 good ones. It's very fun. And, I can sit down and write a song about something. Like, I couldn't do that in the past. I with this Monday night group, these people are really thoughtful and kind and talented. And they have shown me how you can just sit down and write a song about something you want to have a song about. I used to watch Ellis Paul do that. And I just thought, well, I'm no Ellis Paul. Well, move over, Ellis Paul. Let's do some housekeeping here. I want to say thank you to everybody. Sally Johnson, so great to see you here, and so many peace marchers, and JD. Thank you to AUXA for the the producing. Thank you guys for your tips. I'll split the tips with JD today. So thank you for all your support. Get JD and I out there on the road. Great Turning Roadshow.com, right? We could have had .earth maybe, huh, JD? We could still have .earth probably.
We probably could, yeah. But, as soon as you said that, I realized we haven't really explained why the Great Turning Roadshow.
Well, go ahead.
I guess that some people here probably know, I've heard that phrase, the Great Turning, but I think it was popularized by Joanna Macy, who's a climate activist, but also I think she's like 95 now or something, but she's written several books about a better world we could live in and how we might get there. And she's amazing, just an amazing person. And so the Great Turning is what she uses to refer to people who are really trying to do that sideways swimming thing to find an alternative to the way we've been doing things. And so that's where the name came from. And
well, thank you, JD. I love you, and I'm just so glad to be able to work with you on this stuff, and I hope there's a lot more.
This has been really fun.
Yay! So should we end with a song?
Yeah.
I think you picked the set list. I think you picked this one. I think, right?
Whatever it is, it'll be great. I don't remember what I picked.
This is a Paul Zolo co-write. Morning in Blue Forest, war's dark aftermath. Bones of beasts and humans down the cypress path. An elephant came charging, new moon on the rays, full of crazy anger, fire in her eye. She was drunk with sorrow and water laced with wine, crashing trees and temples down all along the line. Her great feet shook like thunder, lightning in her gaze, every second stretched into 1,000 days. And the whole wide world is singing of man and war and art, when Buddha smiled at the elephant with his heart. But Buddha was the gentle rain fell upon the land. He held the mighty elephant like a lotus in his hand. The elephant stood frozen like she had turned to stone. Such a force of kindness a beast had never known. So she swept away the dust from her master's feet. This Buddha beamed with loving kindness down the broken street. Her giant tears came falling down like crystal rain when the Buddha came to wash away her pain. And the whole wide world singing of man and war and art, when Buddha smiled at the elephant with his heart. And the whole wide world singing of man and war and art, when Buddha smiled at the elephant with his heart. Buddha on his daily walk to take alms for the poor came to tame an elephant with love instead of war. The miracle of true love, like a constellation shone. Such a force of kindness the world had never known. And the whole wide world singing of man and war and art, when Buddha smiled at the elephant with his heart. And the whole wide world singing of man and war and art, Buddha smiled at the elephant with his heart. Thanks to my daughter Carrie for commenting under the Darryl Purpose moniker. Thank you to JD.
This has been great fun.
All right, man. Thanks, Auxa. And we'll see you. I'll be here each first Thursday. So first Thursday in April, whenever that is. I will be back here, and I probably won't be with JD at that time, but hopefully we'll be doing other things together. Thank you guys for being here. Morocco,
place,
thank
right?
you, Morocco.
People just come to your Facebook page, and there's the link. However they got here tonight, they can do that in April too.
That's right. Bye, everybody.